Welcome to Waiting into Retirement. In this episode, we review the Amazon incident.
Experience.
Welcome back to Waiting into Retirement. I'm Mike.
Hi, and I'm Laura.
And this week we are going to talk about Amazon. And I don't know if it's our love or our hate for Amazon.
Well, I know my feelings. They've sort of slightly changed, but it's a necessary evil.
So we, not unlike everybody else, probably does a fair amount of commerce with Amazon. And generally, we've had really good experiences. You know, the package shows up at your door. I arrive home every day. I've got a new package. It's like my birthday every day.
Well, and sometimes packages show up and they get knocked at the door, and I'm like, are you here for this house? Because you haven't told me that you've ordered a bunch of stuff.
It's really just all the presents I'm buying you.
Oh, is that what it is? And we have the bonus of actually even getting some of our neighbors' stuff, which it gives me an opportunity to go over and visit. So it's all good.
So to take a step back, in preparation for a long drive to Mexico, I thought I would research some dash cams. And in particular, I've always wanted to get a GoPro. Thought it would be a little smaller and easier to manage than our current setup, which is a Sony SLR camera. So I have a gimbal and I carry that around when we're on shoots going into different destinations and things, but it's heavy.
And you
it's
sometimes
significant.
get people's crotches too. That was a learning curve. That was a learning curve.
That had no point in this story. So I decided I'd get a GoPro. So I looked at a whole bunch of them, decided I'd get the Hero 12, which is the latest edition, and there's a creator mod you can get with it, which gets you a little gimbal and so on and so forth. So a new toy.
And did you mention anything about this new toy to me?
I did once I chose the one I was going to get.
And it was on its way.
So some people do use them for dash cams. I thought that'd be useful for the drive. We'd
You
get some
did.
nice scenic pictures. And anyways, so I get a notification from Amazon that I don't know if they're trying something new or is the first time with me, but I actually got an email just before it was being delivered with a passcode in it. And I had to give that passcode to the driver.
And that should have been our first clue that trouble was brewing.
So I wasn't sure if that had to do with the value of the item or whether it was a GoPro in particular, like item specific, but that had never happened to us before. They leave the box by the door, they take a picture of it and they take off, and we've never had any problems.
And sometimes because we have a couple that are afraid of our big dogs that love everybody, they will actually leave it on the back of my car and take a picture and drive off,
Yeah.
which is kind of cute.
So I give the guy the code, I get my new box, I bring it inside. So I open up the Amazon box and inside is the GoPro packaging and box. Nicely packaged, comes in a nice carry case. So I'm excited about it. So I opened that up. It had not been opened. I opened that up, unzipped the carry bag, and there's nothing in it. It's totally empty.
Oh, but it had the holder where all the stuff should go.
Yes, the packaging was there. There were just no devices. There was no gimbal. There was no GoPro little camera. There were no adapters. Nothing.
Nothing.
So I took the first layer of packaging off and thought maybe it's down below.
Like it would have to be this big, but
Same thing.
You gave
Yep.
the campfire a try.
So I took a bunch of pictures thinking I'm probably going to need to document this.
Yep.
And I thought, well, isn't this a pain in the you-know-what? So I do the return process at Amazon.
And how do you even mark down why you're returning
Well, that's
it?
the problem. My first thought, so here's the dilemma in this whole scenario, right? Is there is nothing to say that I didn't take the GoPro out of this package and I'm just claiming that I received it empty. There's nothing at all to say that, which is the same for any online purchase you do, Amazon or anywhere else.
But you would think because it's a delivery, the weight would have given it away because it wasn't unsubstantial, the weight. Like honestly, when I lifted up the empty package with the cardboard insert in it, I actually thought, it was quite a substantial weight, but I would still think that the weight.
Well, the carry case is heavy as well. But they'd have to know the weight of every individual item that Amazon ever ships in order to do a test like that. So I go online, I say, hey, I'm going to return this. It asks me for a reason, and I write a little blurb saying the package was totally empty. And so I questioned, why am I sending an empty package back in the first place, right? Like, why not just say, hey, I'm not sending it back, but it's empty. But I thought, okay, I'll follow the process. So I send it back. So I quickly get a little status bar on my Amazon account saying that it received my package back and that they were going to process my refund and I would have it in 3 days. So I'm thinking, awesome, 3 days.
And then you're going to reorder the same one because you didn't get it the first time.
So the 3 days comes.
And
I get up
goes.
that morning. Even before I go to the bathroom, I'm on my phone looking to see if I get credited. And it had moved the date out another 3 days. So I went, interesting. So then I'm starting to think, uh-oh, they opened the box, there's nothing in it. Now they're like adjudicating whether they're going to pay me or not, right?
Fair
So
enough.
I wait another 3 days, the date moves again, 3 more days out. So I'm thinking, okay, I should contact Amazon, just see what's going on. So it's about a $750 item, so it's not an insignificant amount of money, right? If it was $50 or $100, I wouldn't even care. I would just wait. But so, anyways,
But they're probably thinking the same thing. It's not an insignificant amount. Maybe he won't notice if we don't credit it, or maybe it will just turn up or something.
so I do the online chat. I tell them my issue that the date keeps moving, and they say, "Oh, don't worry, don't worry. You'll certainly get your refund. We give everybody a refund, and here's a copy of our refund policy." I said, well, I don't really want to read your refund policy. I just want to know that there isn't anything wrong, and at some point I'm going to get my money. So then he starts to ask me some detailed questions, which is my first clue that the Amazon guy really didn't know what he was talking about, and he was just following a script. So when he finds out the value of the item, he says, well, the policy on that is it's a 30-day return on your money. If it's under $300, they do it like in 3 days or something, and if it's over $300, it's a 30-day return.
Which, who knew?
So I said, well, why do you keep telling me it's going to, my refund?
Excuse me.
So why do you keep telling me that my refund is going to happen on a certain date, and then you keep pushing the date 3 days when you know you're not going to give it to me for 30 days? Well, I'll raise that with my manager.
It's a teaser.
So I was like, okay. So I wait, and another 3 days goes past, the date comes again, and I wasn't expecting the refund, but then there's a big in block red letters, it says, there is a problem with your order. Please contact customer support. So I'm like,
So this is new to me. I haven't heard this part.
so I'm like, well, there it is. They've opened the box. There's nothing in it. Surprise, right? So I get back on chat again and I said, what's wrong? I'm waiting for my refund.
Yes,
And the guy says the same thing the first dude said, right?
from the script.
Yep. You have another 10 days before you're going to get your money back because you're 20 days in and you have to wait
30.
the 30 days. And I said, but it tells me to contact you because there's a problem. No, we just do that so we can tell you the refund policy. And I said, okay, I totally understand the refund policy. I don't need you to send that to me in email again, which they keep doing. I just want to make sure there's no problem. No, you'll have your money in 30 days. You'll have it, guaranteed. So I kept the guy on the line and I kept saying, no, I think there's a problem. So he escalates me to his manager, who sends me an email as well saying, by this date, you will have your money. So I have like...
So now they have a picture of you
Yeah.
posted in their virtual little room, and they're throwing darts at it, I'm sure.
No, I don't think so. So I still don't have my money back. I've got about 5 days left until my 30 days is up. And I in no way think I'm going to get a refund. Like none of the things that happened made sense to me, and none of the explanations they gave me made sense to me either. So the actual item is flagged as having a problem, and I'm sitting here just kind of waiting, but I can't really do anything till the 30 days is up.
And you really want to reorder it. That's part of the problem, because you're like, I really wanted to open it up and play with it. I wanted to take it out and see what it was going to do. And
Yes.
And
So
you
that's
can't
one
do
of the
that.
that's one of the dilemmas I want to ask our listeners. Would you order it again before getting your refund? That would be question 1. Question 2 would be, would you order it from Amazon again after this experience? So part of me says I should just run down
Best Buy.
to the neighborhood Best Buy and just pick one up.
Yep.
I could open it right there in front of them, make sure it's in the box. But the same thing could happen if I went to Best Buy, right? I could have bought it. I could have come home, opened it. There could have been nothing in the box, and I bet you Best Buy wouldn't have taken it back.
well, it's really weird, because when Mike said the packaging hadn't been tampered with, even I looked at the packaging, because I'm like, oh, there's got to be a way that they jimmied this open and took it, you know? But the way it covers half the case, well, 2/3 of the case, and it's sealed, there really was no
Yeah.
way that they could do it without ripping that cardboard packaging that surrounded the case. So I
It was
fully
definitely a manufacturing problem. Whether it was somebody on an assembly line that didn't put it in the box and put it in their own pocket, if I'm being cynical, or it just never got in the packaging when they sealed it. Can't tell exactly what it would be, but you know, my first fear is they're going to say, well, of course it's ripped open, you took it out, but that certainly wasn't the experience. So that's the Amazon incident. So now I don't know if I have since ordered books from Amazon and some other items.
And they've arrived
Yeah.
untampered with.
And I'm hoping they kind of look at your purchase history and go, look, this guy's never scammed us before. You know, he spends
think.
thousands of dollars a year on online purchases. This is the first time he's had a return. Why, on this particular one, would he decide to lift something out of the box and lie about it?
Well, and you've ordered some expensive stuff before, because the Thule wasn't insignificant. Mind you, that
Yeah.
was a pretty big box.
Yeah.
And you
You'd
would have
know.
known if it was an empty box.
But you're right, I did get that from Amazon, and that was over $1,000. So
But you didn't have to
There was no
sign
code, there
anything
was
or
nothing.
a code or anything. So maybe it's a scam for Amazon to send out empty boxes and keep your money. I'm just cheating.
I don't know.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. There are some really weird things for returns, though, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So I think
So we'll have to give you an
keep
update.
you posted.
Yeah, if you notice any kind of wild underwater videos coming up soon, then you know I finally got a GoPro. You won't know if I just paid for one twice and I have one, or whether I actually got my money back. But
So do you think the moral of the story is you should tell your wife when you're making these like larger purchases, because maybe it's karma?
absolutely not.
I'm just bugging you.
The moral of the story is, I'm not sure what the moral of the story is, but it's got nothing to do with you. So that's it for this episode. Just a quick one. Wanted to share our Amazon experience. We'll certainly let you know if we get our money back. I suspect we probably will in the end after
Amazon's pretty
numerous phone calls and other ways of contacting them, but
But it
it's
would-
been frustrating.
And it would be interesting to hear if anybody else has run into this kind of a gamut, if you will, and what the outcome was. Because, yeah, we're sort of sitting here a little bit in no man's land, and we really did want to get it for the trip, and we would have actually had an episode on it, just not this kind of an episode.
Yeah.
We didn't figure.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we hope you enjoyed our quick rant, or my quick rant about my Amazon travels. And we will see you next time on Wading into Retirement.